The Buffalo Bills just got great AFC news, and in this episode, I want to break down a bunch of the AFC playoff picture, what things are looking like, and frankly, how a lot of it leans in the Buffalo Bills' favor, especially going into January, the playoff push, the playoff season. Bills Mafia, we've got to be excited about it. But before we get into it, I want to talk about the injuries just for a quick moment. We had the injury report from Thanksgiving I want to break down. We got some good news and some bad news. But again, my name is Colin. This is Crack the Table. We're all Bills, no breaks, breaking down Buffalo Bills content every single day. If you're looking for a fun home of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to join our community, smash the subscribe button. I would love truly to get to 3,000 before December 1. If you're on the fence of joining us, I hope this video brings you some value, and that value translates to you joining our community. But with that, smash the subscribe button if you appreciate these kind of breakdowns, but also throw a Go Bills down in the comments, but also give me a score prediction for you for our matchup against the Steelers on Sunday afternoon. Let's get right into it. Here's the injury report that just came out from yesterday, from the Thursday Thanksgiving practice for the Buffalo Bills. Couple quick hits. Josh Allen still full participant, ready to go for Sunday. Some people were saying on Twitter that in March, upcoming, he's going to have this, we're going to find out that he actually broke some bones or something in his elbow, but he was just fighting through it. We'll see about that. But again, he's full participant, ready to go. No Mitch Trubisky sighting on Sunday for us, hopefully. Terrell Bernard, not looking good week to week, most likely not playing. Joey Bosa, full participant again for the wrist. I expect him full go on Sunday. I expect him to get after Aaron Rodgers, maybe get 1 or 2 sacks, maybe a strip sack, maybe a forced fumble. Let's see what happens with him. Spencer Brown, not looking good again. Probably going to be out on Sunday, probably going to be week to week. We'll see if he's even back for that Bengals game. Deion Dawkins, concussion. I believe he needs to clear protocol, and I believe log a full practice, a padded practice for him to be in order for him to play. We'll see if that happens. That would be a big loss for us on Sunday. I know he was a little slow, not playing to the whistle earlier in the Texans game. There's a lot of that going around, and I talked about it a little bit. But you know what? We really need him on Sunday against the Steelers. Reggie Gilliam, full participant. Man, he's been an underrated dog for our team. Props to him. Tylen Grable, a concussion. He should be good to go. Again, activated off that IR. Should be good to go. Again, Maxwell Hairston as well, full participant, clear the protocol. Daquan Jones was sick, did not practice, full participant, good to go. Dalton Kincaid, this one gets me excited. I'm really interested to see if he logs a full practice later on this week, whether it's today here on Friday or maybe something happens on Saturday. We'll see. But Dalton Kincaid went from did not practice to limited. We really need him on Sunday, especially with the terrible news that Josh Palmer hurt himself, tweaked his injury with his ankle, and I believe potentially downgraded to did not practice, potentially not playing on Sunday. But Phidarian Mathis back from limited to full participant, should be good to go Sunday. And lastly, Curtis Samuel, always injured. But I want to get right back into the AFC news, guys. Big news yesterday. I literally said this in the video yesterday. I was talking about I didn't care who the Cowboys were playing. I literally didn't even know that the Chiefs were playing the Cowboys. I do care who the Cowboys playing. And you know what? For once in my life, I was cheering on the Cowboys yesterday afternoon because, of course, I don't want the Chiefs to win. And you know what? Big loss for the Chiefs. Big uppies right now for the Buffalo Bills playoff picture. We really love to see it. But also coming out yesterday, some crazy news about the Colts. Two teams, right now in this video, the rest of this video, I want to talk about the breakdown of the playoff picture for the Buffalo Bills and in the teams we've got to, potentially beat or get past in the standings. But you know what? Daniel Jones, the quarterback of the Colts, who's had a great year, has a broken or fractured fibula, and so he's got an injury. And there's a bunch of this going around yesterday. Just like, what does that mean? In some of the doctors that were talking on Twitter about this say that he's got some stability issues. There's a chance. He's a very high probability of taking a pretty bad hit and just being out. And I don't know what Anthony Richardson's looking like right now. I haven't necessarily looked at that, but he has been a key cog to the ascension of this Colts team. Outside of Jonathan Taylor and their line, they could be really struggling without Daniel Jones. This is something we've got to be monitoring. But also, the bird was cooked perfectly. Joe Burrow came back. I believe he threw 4 touchdowns against the Ravens. The Ravens are 6-6 now. And I know the Bengals are like 4-8, but you know what? Their defense played pretty good. They caused like 2 interceptions, a forced fumble against Lamar. This Ravens team is not looking good. They're a playoff contending team, but also the Bengals are shooting for the division. And especially if we go and beat the Steelers, that would potentially mean that the Bengals are back in the mix. Wow, that's crazy to me. But again, looking at the full playoff picture right here, of course, we've got New England on top, Denver on top, but these teams right here, the Colts, the Ravens, the Chargers, the Jaguars, they've all got questions, just like we have our own questions of the Bills. But then when you look at Houston, Pittsburgh, the Chiefs, and you look at Miami sneaking in, and I saw some graphics yesterday that were sneaking in the Browns and sneaking in the Bengals, and that's only because the division's still up for grabs there in the AFC North. We'll see what happens there, but a couple other things, again, just looking at the division, if you look at this, you just realize there is a lot of teams that are 1 or 2 games away. And again, the Chiefs and the Bills, the 10th team to the 6th team or the 7th team are very, very close. But what I want to do for the next like 3 or 4 minutes is just look at the schedule for these teams. And again, I'm keeping in Houston, I'm keeping in the Jaguars, Chargers, Colts, and even the Chiefs. A lot of these teams that are really, really close, they are about to go through a gauntlet of AFC matchups that are going to keep all of those teams just very, very close. You look at the current matchups that these guys have to play. The Houston Texans, of course, terrible loss to them recently, but look at, they've got to play the Colts, the Chiefs, they've got to play the Chargers, and again, the Colts. So they have 4 matchups. They're within they're within 1 game of a playoff spot, but they have 4 matchups against key playoff contending AFC teams. That's not looking good for the Texans. Same difficulty with the Colts. When you look at their schedule, of course, you know, they just took the recent loss against the Kansas City Chiefs, but they now are going against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matchups the rest of the season for the Indianapolis Colts against current playoff picture teams. This is not good for the Colts, especially with the Daniel Jones injury. Guys, this is a spot that is absolutely up for grabs right now. They are going to be a team who's going to probably go 3-3 down the stretch. We'll see what happens here. But also, same difficulty with the Chargers. Look at their schedule. They've got Philly, the Chiefs, Dallas, who's an ascending team right now, Houston, and Denver. 5 playoff teams for them that they've got to play in the last 6 weeks. That is really, really rough. Not only that, the Jaguars, pretty much the same thing. Guys, this AFC South right now, absolutely a gauntlet for these teams looking for that playoff spot and trying to take the division. But similar idea for the Jaguars. They've got the Colts, Denver, the Colts again, and you know, they've got probably the easiest one. The Jaguars might win the AFC South right there. But again, lastly, the Kansas City Chiefs, are they in the playoff bubble? Are the Kansas City Chiefs even going to make it to the playoffs? They've got to secure a wild card spot. I don't think at this point that they have any ability to catch the Broncos. Again, they've got a difficult schedule as well against Houston, Chargers, Denver. They've got 3 playoff teams that they've got to go against. They might be 3-2 or they might be 2-3 coming out of this. And I'm just not sure if a 9-8 record is going to get them into the playoffs in the AFC this year. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. There's a lot to think about with this. But then again, when you look at the Bills' schedule coming up to the end of the season, I do believe the Bills can pretty cozily go 4-2. They can be 11-6 at the end of this year, and that wouldn't surprise me. You know, even if they go 3-3, going down the stretch, going 10-7, I think they can still get to the playoffs, which absolutely is good news for the Buffalo Bills. You know what? You can talk about the bad play, but you know what? For me, at the end of the year, what really matters to me is, do we get in the playoffs? Because in the playoffs, any team can beat any team. We've seen it before, and we know that this team, just like that, just at the snap of a fingers, can make things happen. We can cause turnovers. Pretty much every single one of our losses, though terrible, though painful, we lost the turnover battle. Can Josh Allen stop throwing interceptions? Can we stop losing these fumbles on these, with our wide receivers or whatever it is, our running backs even? Can we stop losing the fumbles? Can we stop turning the ball over? Because if we can, our defense is showing even a level of promise. And you know what? If we don't give teams short fieldage, Josh Allen can lead us to victory in any game. Our offensive line will get healthy. We'll get Spencer Brown. We'll get Deion Dawkins back. Other than that, we're looking good. James Cook can grind the ball. There's a lot to be excited about this Buffalo Bills team, especially going to this last half of the season. But again, my name is Colin. This is Crack the Table. We're all Bills, no breaks, breaking down Buffalo Bills content every single day. The Buffalo Bills just got some great AFC news, and the division, or the conference rather, is wide open for us to make a playoff push. I'm excited for it. I hope you're here for it too. The Buffalo Bills have a lot to prove yet for the end of this season. Excited for it. Have a great day. God bless. Go Bills.